Dear Boomers, today I am going to talk to you about an interview that I recorded with Dr. Bernie Siegel about 15 years ago. He is a pioneer in the mind body medicine sphere and the author of The Art of Healing, Uncovering Your Inner Wisdom and Potential for Self Healing. Now, this is especially appropriate because this week we will be having a Dear Boomers Cafe talking about dreams. And I thought, oh my goodness, this will be just fantastic. Though the years have passed, the wisdom in this conversation is timeless. It touches on dreams, drawings, self healing, grief, love, and how we connect with life itself. So open your heart as you listen to me tell you about this interview. And I am revisiting it, as I just mentioned. So, the first thing he talked about was the power of honesty and language. He challenged me at first when I said that I was fine. I'm fine. He goes, "Are you really fine?" And I said, "Well, fine to me means effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotionally unstable," which he thought was funny. Um, He said, honesty, words, and language themselves shape healing. Now, we have talked about that on this wonderful channel many times because the way we speak to ourselves, first of all, and then we notice our tone of voice as we talk to other people. Very important things that we need to monitor moment by moment. So, the way we speak to ourselves and the way we speak for and to others can either open doors to healing or keep us locked in suffering. So, as we go on here, he discussed how Elizabeth Kubler-Ross asked him to look deeper into drawings that he would give to his patients to discuss uncovered, hidden emotions. So, that's very important. We can all do this. So, Dr. Siegel brought crayons into the hospital, and patients' drawings revealed truth that doctors often missed. And that, you can't, it's not to blame doctors for missing things when they are in a hurry, hurry, and they can't really ascertain the whole meaning of what is going on. But he talked about one patient who depicted treatment as the devil's poison, and another one who discussed treatment as God's light. So patients reprogram their body's expectations by drawing healing images. Now, we can create our own healing image as apart from even our dreams. Um, so I believe that the lesson here is profound because our unconscious mind speaks through images and symbols. When we let our creativity flow, whether through dreams, drawings, or imagination, we give the body new instructions for health. That is so true. We can use a healing image in throughout the day, keep it in front of us in the form of a rock we found. My healing image is a five-pointed pentacle, and I wear this all the time to remind me about being abundant and getting away from lack. So there's a story that Bernie told about a woman whose dream doctor revealed her breast cancer and then appeared in her dreams. Um, so when we discuss our dreams this week, we'll weave how dreams may have helped us uncover a death, an upcoming death, which happened to me with my father, or it can talk to us about um, our illnesses or something that might happen in the future if we don't change our ways. So here we go with how we can weave this into our Dear Boomer Cafe discussion this week because um, connection in our community is both timeless and also directly tied to this kind of work. Um, I am hoping that you will join us in the Dear Boomer community, and the link is down below in the description. Also, please subscribe to the channel. It's very important, and comment. Tell me how you feel. So, miracles, coincidences, and dreams. Bernie goes into that at great length. Um, uh, he talked about a patient who dreamed of a dark skinned woman doctor with an accent who told her to check a lump in her breast. She awoke up from the dream, checked it, and found a lump. Later at the hospital, her doctor was the exact woman from her dream. So pay attention, everybody, because these things are very important. We often look at these things as, oh, it's just my imagination. Um, our imagination is a wonderful thing, but we can't just discard these things and think our imagination is worthless. Another patient dreamed of a white cat named Miracle, who gave her instructions for cancer treatment. Her doctor listened and she recovered. Bernie himself dreamed of a cancer support group, assuring him he didn't have cancer, guidance that turned out to be true. So, whether we know it or not, and this is so important, dreams carry messages. We often are in such a hurry that we don't pay attention. And on the Dear Boomer community discussion, I have a list of things to do to help us remember our dreams, a list of things that are very important. So, dreams carry messages. Sometimes they protect us, sometimes they guide us, and often they heal us. Bernie believed that when we sleep, we lift the lid on constant thinking and allow wisdom from the unconscious and perhaps the divine to reach us. And this is exactly why inside the Dear Boomers Cafe, we will be exploring dreams and discussing dreams this week. What dreams do you remember? What messages are waiting for you? Sometimes a dream is more than a dream. It's a compass, it's a teacher, and even a doctor at your bedside. So, symbols and words, Bernie goes deeply into that. He says that sometimes a child's drawing can reveal family truths and things that perhaps a family doesn't want anybody to know. So, he's talked about a single number in a drawing, like 12 on a clock, unlocked a woman's repressed memory of abuse. Bernie emphasized that words themselves are symbols. Words can become swords able to wound or to heal. Patients who reframed an illness as a wake up call or even a death in the family or their husbands uh, or their parents or their children as a wake up call will often recover from grief or from an illness more easily than those who describe it as a failure or a defeat. Now, think about that. That's fascinating. So, this mirrors what we often say in our Dear Boomers community. The stories we tell ourselves about our lives shape our reality. Bernie Siegel showed how both words and images are keys to unlocking the healing potential within us. Grief, love, and signs from beyond. Bernie goes into that very, very clearly. And he also goes into the death of our animals and how our animals are often a bridge to great healing love, certainly love, pure love. So he talks about his patients who receive signs from loved ones, pennies, butterflies, birds, and cardinals is often relevant, that appeared at just the right moment. He emphasized that grief is often heightened because we don't realize our loved one's presence is still with us. Yesterday, I had a discussion with a woman whose husband died not too long ago, and she does feel his presence, but she doesn't believe that it is. Oh, she believes it might just be her imagination. Um, I tried to explain that that's probably not true. Bernie tells of patients who saw in their drawings or dreams the continuation of consciousness beyond death. So, we talked about bringing death out of the closet and last the week, the last Dear Boomers Cafe, and our dreams can be a bridge to the afterlife. So, grief is another theme close to our hearts as Dear Boomers. Bernie reminds us to look for signs, pennies, animals, synchronicity, because love never dies. And when we gather together in the cafe, we remind each other of this truth. We are not alone in grief, and our loved ones are closer than we think. And animals. Ever since my husband's passing, I've had animals in my life, especially my old dog Pearl. And if I wouldn't have had Pearl, I wouldn't have felt so optimistic about life because she helped me, because I care for her. And she always looks, she's a very independent soul, but often, she, in her independence, gave me autonomy. Bernie explains how favorite animals reflect the self. Dogs, cats, eagles, each represent something within. Bernie shared studies showing how pets lower blood pressure, extend survival after heart attacks, and raise bonding hormones. And he talks about his own family's reverence for life, rescuing animals, raising children with compassion, and it was great. I talk about my other dog, Maso, my Boston Terrier, BT Maso. Um, Bernie validated what many of us feel, that they heal us, they mirror our best selves, and they open our hearts. If you lost a pet or share your life with one now, you know they are spiritual teachers in fur coats. So, as I just said, Pearlie is very independent. Maso is one who tells me if somebody's at the door. He doesn't like it if I say the word no. He gives me a look and he leaves the room in a huff, which I find to be absolutely adorable. So, love is the ultimate prescription. Bernie Siegel said that love your life and love your body because feelings shape our body's chemistry. And when we love life, we really need to nurture that love of life. And Joe Dispenza says the same thing. Love your life, elevate your emotions, and your body will respond by keeping us alive. Love is immortal, and love is what remains. That this may be the most important teaching of all. Love heals, love transforms, love carries us beyond time into the quantum fields where we can heal, where we can draw to us the the amazing abundance that is our heritage. And Bernie always reminds us that love is not only a philosophy, it is biology. Let me repeat that. Love is biology, not just a philosophy, and we need to live it. When we live it, it becomes our whole being, and people feel it, and people need it, especially now. So, this conversation with Dr. Bernie Siegel has stayed with me for over 15 years. His voice reminds us that healing is not only about medicine, but about creativity, connection, love, and listening to the wisdom that comes from our dreams and our hearts. I love that thing, that whole idea that um, healing is not just about medicine, but it is about creativity, as exemplified by drawing what it is that you dreamed about. And it's about connection, love, and listening to the wisdom that comes through our dreams and through our hearts. Love to all. Join us this week in our dream group on the Dear Boomers community in our Dear Boomers Cafe. Love to all.